Welcome to this deep dive. Today we're taking a really close look at a resource. It's specifically designed to help beginners get, well, genuinely confident speaking English. We're
Yeah.
talking about speaking English with confidence for beginners from Revnick Zone 360. And our mission today isn't just to describe it. We really want to unpack its step-by-step approach, sort of reveal the why behind how it works and how it, transforms simple phrases into actual confident conversation for someone just starting out.
Yeah, and what's really interesting, I think, is that core promise they make right at the beginning. It's presented as this daily resource, and the method is just so clear. Just listen, repeat, and speak with me. That's not just a simple instruction, is it? It's like this active learning loop. It gets you listening, then activating the kind of muscle memory by speaking. That immediate output, that's key for beginners, I think. Builds that foundation for confidence.
Okay, let's dig into that. So it starts with the absolute basics, right? Greetings, introductions. Lots of resources do that. But what's different here? What makes this approach good for building actual confidence, not just learning words?
That's a good question. So yeah, it introduces phrases like, hi, how are you? I'm good, thank you. You know the ones, what's your name? My name is, nice to meet you. Even things like, how old are you? I am 25 years old. And where are you from? Maybe with an example like, I am from India. But the key thing, I think, is the context. They frame these as like low stakes interactions, things you know you'll use right away. So it cuts down that initial anxiety, you're not wrestling with complex grammar, you're just mastering these short, predictable chunks that gives you a little win straight away.
Right. And it doesn't just give you a list. It puts them straight into a mini dialogue, like that example between A and B. Hi, what's your name? My name is John. Nice to meet you. How old are you? I'm 25. I'm from Canada. And you? I'm from Brazil.
That immediate application, does that dialogue format specifically help with confidence?
Oh, absolutely. That immediate application, putting it in a mini dialogue, it encourages what linguists sometimes call comprehensible output. Basically, it makes the learner actually do something with the language, simulate a conversation. And doing that, even in a really safe, controlled way like this, it helps lower that effective filter. The fear of making mistakes that can just freeze learners up. It's like building muscle memory for talking, but in a safe space first.
Okay, that makes sense. So from those first hellos, it moves pretty quickly into something everyone can relate to, talking about your day. That seems practical, sure, but how does it build on that initial confidence boost from the introductions? Well, it introduces a sequence of everyday actions. Things like, I wake up at 7 a.m., I brush my teeth, I take a shower, then I eat breakfast. Well, I go to work at 9 a.m., I return home at 6 p.m., and finally I eat dinner. I sleep at 10 p.m. What's really clever here, I think, is how it uses sequential scaffolding. It moves from single words or short phrases like in the greetings to linking actions into a little story. It kind of mirrors how we naturally learn language, right? Connecting things together. So for a beginner, taking these familiar actions and stringing them into their own narrative, like the example, hi, I'm Alex, I wake up at 7, and so on. I brush my teeth and take a shower. I eat breakfast at 8, going through the whole day. That reinforces memory, and it actually makes it easier, less cognitive load. And you can immediately see and feel yourself making progress. That's huge for confidence.
Okay, now here's where it gets really practical, I think. The deep dive shifts to transactional English, specifically at the market or shop. I remember when I was learning languages, trying to buy something or ask the price, that always felt like the biggest hurdle, the most nerve-wracking part. What specific challenges does this section tackle for building confidence in those, real-world moments?
That's a really common feeling. Yeah, this part focuses on those essential shopping phrases. Things like, how much is this? And the answer, it is $10. Or, can I buy this? Yes, of course. Questions about payment. Can I pay with card? Asking for change. Do you have change for 100? Or just say the intent. I want to buy some milk. Where is the rice? And the inclusion of a little role play, like, excuse me, how much is this? That is $5. Can I pay with card? Yes, we accept cards. That gives a direct simulation. For confidence, it's not just knowing the words. It's practicing these little scripts, these transactional scripts where, success is pretty obvious. You get what you wanted or you understand the price. Knowing exactly what to say in that common situation just cuts down the fear of the unknown, makes that first real trip to the shop way less scary. It's like giving them a preloaded plan.
Right, a safety net almost. So then the resource broadens out again to more general question-answer patterns, moving beyond just routines or shopping. That feels like the next logical step. But how does it encourage more general conversation without maybe overwhelming the learner?
Yeah, it's about developing more adaptive communication. It gives you a set of common questions, things like, what do you do? Where do you live? Where do you eat for lunch? Or do you speak English? Do you like music? What time is it? Are you a student? Really common stuff. And critically, it pairs them with direct, simple answers. I am a student. I live in Mumbai. I eat rice and vegetables. Yes, I speak a little English. Yes, I like music. It is 3 o'clock. This kind of foundational Q&A practice is so important for fluency. It trains you in those predictable back and forth patterns. Once you master these common pairs, you start feeling more confident in quicker exchanges. You're moving beyond just reciting lines to actually responding. It's still structured, but it feels more spontaneous.
Okay, so you've learned greetings, routines, shopping phrases, basic Q&A. What does it all lead to in terms of actually using it independently? The resource has this practice challenge bit, which sounds pretty direct. How does that push learners past just repeating towards, real self-expression?
Right, the challenge. Its design is really about getting you to actively recall information and then produce your own sentences. It asks questions straight to you, the listener. Things like, what is your name? What do you do every morning? What food do you like? Wouldn't he? Also, can you describe your city? What do you do in your free time? What is your favorite color? What time do you go to bed? And what's interesting is the specific instruction to answer in full sentences, like the example they give. My name is Aditi. I wake up at 7 and drink tea. I like rice and curry, and so on. I live in a small town. I watch movies in my free time. My favorite color is blue. I sleep at 10. Urum. This really shows how all the previous bits come together. You're taking everything you practiced and synthesizing it into your own answers. It's that crucial step, that bridge from guided practice to actually using the language on your own. That's where you really feel the progress, I think.
And finally, there's a focus not just on what you say, but how you say it, speaking slowly and clearly. That seems pretty basic, but is there a deeper reason, maybe psychological, for emphasizing slow, clear speech when someone's trying to build confidence?
Absolutely. This section gives really simple sentences just for pronunciation practice, like, this is a cup. The sun is bright. I love learning English. Very straightforward stuff. You are my friend. And we are speaking English. This is a pencil. My phone is on the table. It is raining outside. And if you connect that back to the big picture, focusing on speaking clearly and slowly, it's not just about being understood, though that's part of it. It's also a strategic move to build what you might call articulatory ease. And it lowers the cognitive load. When you're not rushing, you can actually focus on making the sounds correctly, practicing how your mouth moves, making sure each word comes out right. That takes away some of the internal pressure and it directly builds confidence because actually being understood by someone else, that's a massive motivator when you're learning. It's about building that solid, deliberate foundation first before you even think about speed.
So looking back at our deep dive into speaking English with confidence for beginners, it really does show a very structured and I'd say, incredibly encouraging way to learn. It moves logically, doesn't it? From those basic confidence-boosting phrases through practical dialogues and then gives you direct challenges to actually speak yourself, all while reminding you to speak clearly.
Exactly. And the resource itself points out that for beginners, that simple act of just listening and speaking daily helps a lot. It really is a testament to just consistent step-by-step practice and how having that clear active learning cycle can genuinely speed up how confident you feel when speaking.
Thinking about this whole method, the listen, repeat, speak model, the way it breaks things down, builds things up sequentially, focuses on reducing that fear factor, and makes pronunciation manageable. It does make you wonder, doesn't it? For you listening, how could you maybe apply this kind of thinking, this understanding of how confidence is built step by step in language, to mastering something totally different you might be trying to learn? Whether that's coding or playing guitar or even getting better at public speaking. Something to think about.